All right. Hey, welcome back. This is Fridays in Football. We had a 1 week hiatus because of Thanksgiving. We're back now. So hope you had your fill of turkey and soccer. And we're here to talk about it. And we've got a lot going on. First thing is let's talk table talk. And let's start with the Premier League. Premier League, it's been 1 week of Mourinho already, or week and a half or so, and we're starting to see some movement from Tottenham already. What else do you guys see? What's Premier League look like for you guys at this point?
Well, we saw a lot of the big teams sort of fail in the last week or two. Chelsea lost. We saw Tottenham lost today to Manchester United. City drew. And other than like Liverpool and I'd say Leicester, everyone seems to be in a bit of a slump.
That Tottenham game, or what really, Mourinho's results so far are kind of surprising me because he's been pegged as a defensive manager. He's boring, but so far Tottenham have been leaking goals. Like, you've given up 2 goals in every game it is, I think, and he couldn't even beat Manchester United, which even Newcastle could do that. But I'm not sure it's really as much down to him, though, or is the squad is legit. It's just like bad and stale, as we talked before.
So, things are shaping up, for Liverpool, obviously. I mean, over the weekend they were 11 points up. After today, they're still 11, right?
11 over City, 8 over Leicester.
So are they a lock? Can we just say they're a lock to win the championship? Lock it in?
I don't know that I would say that yet, but there's definitely a very slim chance of anyone catching up.
What do you think, Jaden?
4 years ago, or what was it? The banana peel Gerrard year.
Oh, God. Yeah.
They were pretty much a lock at that point and didn't win the league. So crazy things have happened, but let's be honest, Leicester probably aren't going to challenge for the title down the stretch, which means it's Liverpool and City. And City are 11 points back. So for them to overtake Liverpool, hypothetically, they would have to win all of the remaining, 23 games, and have Liverpool lose 4 games. Now, Liverpool have lost 1 game in the last year and a half. So it's looking very likely, but crazier things have happened. That's my opinion.
Right. Yeah, let's just hope the curse of, the turf doesn't slip up Liverpool's chances again. It's that just broke my heart. I'm just going to say that. Broke my heart. It wasn't a great legacy moment for a really great player, Steven Gerrard. That just, why did it have to happen to him, And Liverpool, it just broke my heart that year. But if, like you said, it looks to me like their squad is just so strong, and it could get stronger. Like, I heard rumor that maybe Jadon Sancho might be coming, or at least they're looking at him in the January transfer window. So, wow, they're gonna, if that happens, I just don't see Liverpool slipping in the rankings. So
I actually hope that one doesn't go through. I think today in the Merseyside derby over Everton, Shaqiri got his first start since I think it was the semifinal second leg versus Barcelona. And he's a great player, and there was a reason Liverpool signed him. And with him and Origi backing up Mane and Salah and Firmino, assuming there's no injuries, I think that's all you need, because you have these 2 players who are okay with being second fiddle and are okay with sitting on the bench. And Sancho is going to want playtime, which means someone's going to have to sit, and no one's going to be happy if that happens.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I don't think it's worth it spending what would be probably over 150 million for Sancho, I would have to say. Maybe a little less than that, but yeah, it's just not worth it in my opinion for a player that would maybe start over actually no, I don't think he would start over Mane or Salah or Firmino. he would probably be riding the bench, and that's just not a good decision to spend that much money on a bench player.
Do you guys think Liverpool needs to spend any money? Or is there any place in the roster they need to, bolster or, fortify?
I think they wouldn't do too bad to bring in a center back in January. That's one place. It's really a roulette of who plays next to Van Dijk. It's the one place in the team that's not a lock. You have Mane, Salah, Firmino up top, and then usually Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and Henderson in the midfield, and then Van Dijk, Robertson, Alexander-Arnold, and then a different center back, which is depending on who's in form. But I think if they were to bring in a second, like a rock next to Van Dijk, let's say Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli. I was really hoping they would have signed the lick back in summer.
Incredible.
Man. Right, that would be that. I'm sure that's just riches beyond riches. If you can add him. Let's see. Who do you? We saw Tottenham move up. They were 14 last time we talked. Now they're, I think, what are they? Oh, they're 8. Okay, so they're moving up a little bit. But beyond them, who do you think's looking like the top 4 at the finish? We're almost at the halfway point of the season. Who's looking real strong to make the top 4 in the Premier League?
I could see it staying the way it is right now. Liverpool first, Leicester second, City third, Chelsea fourth. Maybe Manchester City get above Leicester City towards the end. But other than that, like, none of the teams below that there, like, really look like they're going to make a dent this season. I don't know.
My top 4 in this order is Liverpool, Manchester City, Leicester City, and in 4th place, Manchester United. I think that it's a relatively similar squad to what they had last year, but Marcus Rashford has just been so good for them up top. And in big games, they haven't lost. To open the season, they beat Chelsea 4-0. They drew with Arsenal 1-1. They drew with Liverpool, which no one's done in the Premier League this year. They beat Chelsea 2-1 again in the Cup. They beat Tottenham 2-1 in the league. Like, in big games, they can do what it takes to get the job done, and I think that's really going to show as we get into the end of the season.
Well, why do you think Chelsea slips?
They have a young, inexperienced squad and also Champions League duties at the end of the year. I feel like should they make a run, that could really come to hinder them.
Yeah, that's true. I think if we're looking at Champions League, they're looking. They're still kind of in a battle. I think they have one more game to play against Lille, I think it is, in order to qualify. So probably will. I think they should prevail. So you're right. They're going to have some extra fixtures, and they don't have the depth probably. Yeah, that some other teams, could overcome all those matches
down the stretch. Their young team isn't going to have what it takes to get the job done in multiple competitions. And you have to remember the FA Cup's going to come into the equation too.
Right.
Potentially, unless they get knocked out.
Yeah, don't look now, but Leicester City, like, wow, 2nd place,
12 points clear of top 4. I might add, or 5th place Wolves.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. And I think hats off to Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy with he's leading the league with goals scored.
Scored again today. I think it's 14 now.
Wow. Yeah. Without it's amazing to me that club can lose so many great players and still, look at them, 2nd place. They still have Vardy. They still have Schmeichel. Who else has been a mainstay? But they've lost so many great players. Mahrez, N'Golo Kante. Who else?
Danny Drinkwater was good for them, but he kind of, I don't know, went to Chelsea and disappeared.
Yeah,
he's
right.
on loan at Burnley now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love that story. Leicester City just being in there. If you look around at some of the other leagues, it's nice when a league has a bunch of teams that are competing for the title. Liverpool looks like clearing away the winner. And then in Serie A, we've, finally somebody's really, making a push to overtake Juventus. So Inter is right up there. Well, they're leading. They're leading now.
Didn't Juventus drop points at the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's nice to see some clubs, some different leagues have some different players, taking on the league championship mantle.
That's a real weird one in Italy because Inter are not even near being in the same league as Juventus. And they're still, the thing is, they're getting points, they're winning the games they need to win, and that's like how Leicester won the league back a few years ago. They didn't win it by beating City and Arsenal and Chelsea every game. They won the games they should have won and got results when it mattered. But I really don't think Inter will have what it takes down the stretch, especially because Juventus squad is so great, and like Inter's performance in the Champions League against Dortmund and Barcelona, I think proves that just by itself that they're not going to compete when it comes down to it.
Well, they have a great striker.
Yeah, two great strikers.
Who's the other?
Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku.
And don't forget Alexis Sanchez.
Oh, yeah. They've been pairing up, like, fantastically. And honestly, I could see them winning the league. They, like, just keep scoring goals, and I think they have the right mentality, and I think they have what it takes.
Yeah, something about Juventus just screams like old and tired, you know, and Inter seems I love Ronaldo, and he's always going to be in the running, but I think you're right. I think Inter they just seem more fluid, than Juventus. They have more motivation, perhaps. So let's take a quick look at the Champions League because things are shaking out in most of the different groups that you would expect, but there are a few groups where things are still kind of up in the air, especially, I don't know what group it is, but you've got three really good teams, Borussia Dortmund, help me out, guys.
Barcelona and Inter.
Yeah, Barcelona and Inter.
Group F.
One of those teams is out, and those are three really good teams. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who gets through? I don't know if we studied that much, but who gets through in that group?
Well, Inter and Dortmund, I believe, are level on points, and Barcelona are already through. And Inter's last game is at Barcelona, where Dortmund is against Slavia Prague. So I don't know. It's weird because we don't. Barcelona are already through. We don't know if they're going to play Messi or play a bunch of 16-year-olds because they have nothing on the line. So for that reason, I think that Inter will make it through to the round of 16. And we saw last year Tottenham went to Camp Nou on match day 6 in the group stage, needing a result, playing a Barcelona B team, and they got the result. Ended up getting to the finals. So I think that Inter will make it through to the next round. And for that reason, going back to what I said before, it'll affect them negatively in the Serie A.
Okay. Is there any other, let's see, I'm trying to think if there's any other groups there that things are up in the air. Liverpool, I think their group, Liverpool has a pretty big match coming up.
It's a gnarly one.
What's that?
It's a gnarly group.
Yeah.
Liverpool on 10 points, Napoli on 7, and Red Bull Salzburg. No, Napoli on 9, and Red Bull Salzburg on 7.
And Liverpool plays Red Bulls, right?
If Liverpool lose that game, yeah, they do play Red Bull away on match day 6. If they lose that game, and Napoli doesn't lose, they'll be out this early after winning it last year, which is unbelievable because they've had a pretty much, I guess, relatively easy group stage. Really easy group compared to what they got through last year with PSG.
Yeah. Well, come on, Liverpool. You can't just drop your, title, defend your title like this. This is not acceptable. Okay, let's move on. I think we only got a couple minutes here. Grab bag. Let's move on to that. Anything that you saw, players you think that are in form, playing pretty well right now?
I think I'm going to shout out Leo Messi. He got the winner versus Atletico Madrid. I forget what, like a couple days ago. And it was just a fantastic goal, a classic Messi goal. And I think he's just going to keep scoring those again and again. And he also won the Ballon d'Or a couple days ago on the 2nd.
Nice. Yeah. Jaden?
I'd like to give a huge shout out to Marcus Rashford. I touched a little upon this earlier, but 2 goals against Chelsea. He had an assist against Arsenal, a goal against Liverpool, 2 more goals today against Tottenham. The man's unstoppable in big games. And what is he, only like 22, 23? England's attack in the future is looking so scary. With the front 3 of Rashford, Sterling, and Sancho.
Ooh. Don't forget Kane.
Give me a break.
Ooh,
yeah,
England. Kane. No, you're right. That does sound really good. Not a lot of great young players. I'm going to go with probably the most entertaining part of the weekend that I saw. I was watching the Liverpool Brighton game, and the Brighton player had broken free, and then Alisson went up to block the ball, only he was not in the box. And handball, automatic red card. And then, of course, they set up the free kick, and they had to get a new goalie in there. And the goalie was just trying to get everybody organized. And then next thing you know, the guy, the Brighton kicker, kicks it in, and a goal surprises Liverpool. And I thought, this is, even though it went against Liverpool, I thought this is very hilarious. I love that play. It was just awesome.
It didn't matter in the end. 2-1 win.
Exactly. Okay, guys, I think that's it. We had a real short session. We could have gone on longer, but Jaden's got to get to an engagement. So we're going to say adios for episode 4. This is the week of December 4th. Hope you enjoy your soccer this weekend, and we'll see you again next week for Fridays in Football.